Hi, this is Rony Velasquez with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties. And today I want to talk to you about the final verification of property condition. And the reason I'm going to talk about this for a few minutes is because it seems to me that we had like 3 transactions with problems at the close of escrow because of the sellers not doing what they were supposed to be doing. So I'm going to go over the verification of property condition right now. So the final verification of property condition is typically done 5 days before the close of escrow, and that's as per the contract. Obviously, you can do the final verification whenever you want, but as per the contract, it's supposed to be done at least 5 days before the close of escrow. Now, what is the reason for the final verification of property condition? All right, the final verification of property condition is not to be used as a home inspection. The home inspection should have already been done a long time ago. Remember that all in regards to the contingencies periods, you have the home inspection or the buyer's investigations contingency, buyer's investigation, which home inspection is under the purview of the buyer's investigations. So the buyer has 17 days to do all the investigations they need about the property. That is, they need to pull permits, they need to go to the city if they're going to go to the city to pull permits. They need to hire a home inspector to do the inspection of the property. They need to hire a termite or pest control company to do the termite inspection on the property. If they're going to do a roof inspection, then they have to have a roofer do the roof inspection. I mean, the buyer has the right to do any kinds and all kinds of inspections that they want to do on the property. Obviously, the buyer has to pay for that. The seller's not going to pay for that. But the buyer can do all the investigations that they want, right? Now, that has to be done within 17 days. As per the contract, it says it has to be done within 17 days. Now, if you change that and you put a different date, they agree into 21 days, 15 days, 20 days, whatever that is, that's a different story. But as per the contract, they have 17 days to do that. Okay, so the inspection is done. What happens is typically when you do the inspection as a buyer, you do the inspection, right? There's certain things that are wrong in the property. Every property has things that are wrong. Believe me when I tell you this. I have remodeled my property like 4 times. And every time we remodel it, we find other things that need to be repaired. So every property has repairs that need to be done, right? Now, in regards to repairs, I want to clarify this, and I did another video in regards to the repairs. You want to go watch that video, but I just want to make sure we understand this. According to the contract, it says that the offer, when the buyer made the offer on the property, they were making the offer on the property with the property being sold as is. And basically, the contract says that the seller doesn't have to do repairs. They don't even have to respond to the request for repairs. If you look at paragraph 14, it says it right there. The seller doesn't have even to respond for that. Now, having said that, obviously, if the buyer finds some repairs that they want the seller to do, if the seller agrees to that, that's fantastic. If the buyer requests some repairs and the seller doesn't want to do them, then the buyer has an option to cancel the agreement, because they say, well, the seller doesn't want to repairs. We need to cancel the agreement based on that. There's a little 50-50 on that one. But anyways, that's typically how it works, right? So watch this now. Those need to be done within 17 days. So if the buyer went to the property, they saw the property, the inspection is done, everything is fine, beautiful. Let's remove the contingency, let's move forward. If the buyer went there and found some repairs that needed to be done, they send it to the seller, and the seller agreed to do the repairs, right? They agreed to do the repairs, before the close of escrow. And this is where we're getting into the problem that I'm talking about right now. So you go, the seller already responded within the time allowed after 17 days, 2 days after 17 days. The seller said, okay, yeah, you know what, you want to fix a leaky toilet? You want me to fix a leaky toilet? Yeah, I'll fix a leaky toilet. Yeah, that's fine. So they sign a response from seller repairs that says, yes, we're gonna fix a leaky toilet. All right. That's what the verification of property condition is for. The verification of property condition is for the buyer to go 5 days before the close of escrow to verify that if the seller said they were going to fix something, that is fixed. Also to verify that the property is in similar condition as the property was when they submitted the offer. So it has to be in similar condition, meaning the following, right? If you made the offer and the property was 4 bedrooms and you go to do the verification of property condition and now the property is only 3 bedrooms, you're wondering what the hell happened with the 4th bedroom, right? That would be something that, the verification of property condition would be for, right? Is to make sure that the property is in similar condition as it was when you submitted the offer. That there's no, something like flooding in the property, or some electrical issue that blew out everything, or the roof is caving in or something like that. I mean, the property has to be in similar condition as when you made the offer. And that's what the verification of property condition is. Here's the problem. The problem is that buyers will go to the property to do a final verification, and then they start asking for more repairs. And it's like, wait a second, you know, this is not, I mean, you had the time to do that when you did the home inspection before. Now you're coming in 5 days before the close of escrow, and all of a sudden you don't like that the paint in the room is blue, and you want me to change it. You know, this is too late for that. You should have requested that on the request for repairs. This is one of the problems that we typically have. And I made this video because we've seen this happen, you know, more often than not, you know, that the buyers come on at the last minute and they want them to start redoing repairs. You know, like, okay, well, I don't like this anymore. I don't like that anymore. Or I didn't see this before when I came into the house. Now I want you to repair it. But wait a second, you already had your chance to do that at the beginning. I mean, I understand, you know, I put myself in your shoes as a buyer, you know, and a buyer's agent. You know, we try to protect our buyers and everything. But once again, the final verification of property condition is not a home inspection. It's not supposed to replace the home inspection. That should have already been done 17 days or whatever amount of days ago, right? So I want to clarify this because I want to make sure that everybody understands this. When you do the final verification of property condition, is just to make sure that the property is in similar condition what it was when you make the offer, number one, and number two, any seller repairs that the seller had agreed to do on the property were done. That's it. That's it. That's the end, right? Here's another one, another scenario. Sellers moving out of the property. We have this very, very often. In some occasions, seller, you know, is supposed to close escrow, let's say on the 30th of the month, right? They're supposed to close escrow fund, you know, send the money, get their check, and they have, you know, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days to move out, you know, whatever is on the contract. Contract says, you know, 5 p.m. The day of the close of escrow. Some people say, you know, 3 days after the close of escrow, whatever it was negotiated at the beginning. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. I want you to be careful with this. Do the final verification of property condition yourself. You as an agent, you should be there. Even if the buyers don't want to come, and you should have the buyers with you. But even if the buyers don't want to come to the property, go to the property 5 days, at least 5 days before the close of escrow. And I want you to pay attention to one thing. Is the seller already packing their stuff? And I'll tell you the reason why. We had 3 or 4 occasions right now in which the seller at the close of escrow, they say, oh, you know what, I can't move because I can't find a replacement home, or I can't find a place to live. And that is not fair for the buyer, all right? And that gets into a very big stinky situation because now the seller doesn't want to move out of the property. So here's my recommendation for you, because I had this several times in situations in which I go to the property 5 days before the close of escrow and nothing is packed. Understand this, please. If a seller knows that they are supposed to move in 5 days, sellers are already, you know, the sellers that already know that they have to move out of the property, they're already packing stuff. They have stuff in boxes. They already pulled down all the pictures from the walls. They already have all the kitchen items in boxes. Some of them already have containers outside, you know, because they have to move. Like, you're closing escrow, you have to give the keys to the other person. The other person is ready to move, and they need to move in, right? You go to the property, and the seller is just there, you know, watching TV, drinking beer, and there's nothing down. There's no portraits down. There's no boxes anywhere. You know, they haven't cleaned anything in the house. I can tell you this right now: that seller is not ready to move. That would raise a really big red flag, and I'm saying, wait a second, Mr. Seller, we're supposed to close in 5 days, and yet I don't see like you're making any efforts to move. Is there a problem? Are we going to have a problem here? And here's the situation. Tell you what, some sellers will say, well, you know what, I haven't found a place to live. Yeah, but you do understand that on Friday at 5 p.m. you have to give me the key. On a Saturday, my clients are moving in the property. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Some people say I didn't know that. I know. I had that conversation a couple of times already. I'm like, well, you need to know that, right? Here's the thing, though. What do you do in that situation? Seller's not ready to move. What do you do in that situation? Now, having said this, I'm going to tell you what my 2 cents are, and you need to talk to your broker manager, you know, because I'm disclaim any liability from anything that happened. But this is the situation. I have a rule of thumb that goes something like this. Once escrow is closed and everybody's paid, you know, the escrow officer got paid, the listing agent got paid, the selling agent got paid, the lender got paid, everybody got paid, the seller got paid, you know, their check, you know, from the equity, whatever, right? Once escrow is closed and everybody's paid, Nobody wants to do anything. I can tell you that right now. No one wants to do anything. Everybody grab their check. They don't want to do anything. I'm sorry, but that's reality. My ex-boss used to say, Don Swartz used to say, money is the greatest motivator, and that is true. So this is the two things that you can do, the two things that you could do in regards to this situation. If you go to the house, the seller is not like it's moving anywhere. He doesn't give you any idea that it's going to move out of the property or anything. You need to really have a conversation with everybody and say, you know what, at a certain point you may say, you know what, stop everything. Stop the escrow, stop the funding, stop the loan, stop everything, because this guy here, I don't think like he's moving. And we're not closing escrow until we're sure that this person here is moving. You need to call to stop. Everybody needs to stop. Wait a second, we need to stop. And I know some people are not going to like it. Some people are going to say, oh, you know, the loan docs are going to expire, whatever. I'm sorry, but we need to stop for a second. We really need to talk to the seller, and we need to go there, and we need to talk to him, and we need to prepare him. And heck, you know, if you need to hire people to come and help him box up things, I would hire people to come and box up things for them, you know. Obviously, well, that's liability, but I would, right? Now watch this. Or the other solution is this: stop. The seller is not ready to move. I'm concerned about this. What I want to do is I want the seller to leave a certain amount of money deposited in escrow for a period of time. And by the way, escrow cannot hold funds indefinitely forever, all right? They can only hold funds for so long before they give it back to the seller. So you need to be very specific in regards to the time frame. And you need to say, we need to stop this, and the seller needs to leave in escrow, I don't know, $10,000. Sounds like a good number, right? Big fat number, right? You need to leave about $10,000 in escrow, and there's an agreement that we need to have in which it says, if the seller does not deliver the property, you know, we're going to charge him a per diem, you know, $150 a day, $200 a day, whatever that is, until the property is vacated. Either that, and in addition to that, for a period of 2 weeks, for example, and then after 2 weeks, the rest of the money will be given to the buyer so he can start eviction proceedings, something like that, you know. Because if the seller feels like they're about to lose this big chunk of money, which they are if they don't move out of the property, then they're going to be more motivated to move out of the property. And those are things that, you know, sometimes we have to, you know, we have to be fair for both parties. You know, I'm not trying to say, you know, we're all against the seller or we're all against the buyer. No, we're trying to be fair with everybody, and everybody has to be in agreement that this is the way it needs to happen, right? So that's my recommendation. But once again, I caution on this because of the following. We already had 3 cases in the last, I don't know, month and a half or so, in which agents have come to me and they say things like, oh, you know, the buyer is asking for extra repairs that they didn't ask for, and the seller doesn't want to do it, and now everybody wants to cancel the transaction. Or this other situation where you close escrow and now the seller doesn't want to move out of the property. And both situations are really, really bad. So this is what the final verification of property condition is for. All right, there's a reason why this form is in there. There's a reason why there's a big space here so you can write whatever you need to write. There's a reason why it needs to be signed by both parties, etc. There's a reason for that. Use the form and use it wisely. It can save your transaction, it can save your buyer, it can save your seller, it can save everybody a lot of hassle, a lot of trouble if you just use it correctly. So anyways, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you need any help, give me a call, 562-762-9634, 562-762-9634. Have a fantastic day. Bye.